Is this like the rocker edition of our podcast?
That's how I have to get Wendy. Like, my hair does not get that much volume. Like,
oh my God. Okay, I'm leaving this in. That's staying in the podcast. What up, everybody?
Hey, everybody.
Seriously, I'm not kidding. I'm not cutting this out. So what is this, episode 4?
It is episode 4.
So exciting.
And actually, our episode might possibly be my favorite. Every single episode, we get a little bit better.
I think so.
If I do say so. Elves. Pat.
Awesome.
So who do we got on the docket today?
Well, I'm kind of excited. I say this every week, but I am kind of excited having people on because I love knowledge, and we're going to learn some stuff today about something that might be of interest to people buying a house who may need to renovate said house, or people who are planning on, doing some renovations and don't really have the cash up front. So this purchase plus improvement program, mouthful, essentially you can basically take the cost of the renovations and add it to the mortgage, and then you sort of pay off your renovations as you're paying off your house. So it's kind of nice, especially if you have a lot to do to the property and you don't have a lot of disposable I can't talk today. Disposable income, right? So you can, it's like renos on layaway. That's what I'm calling it.
No, I love that. And, honestly, it's a good solution. Okay. So it's twofold. It's a good solution right now anyways, with this market, because it allows you to buy lower, and then as long as the numbers work, and make it your own, because what can also happen is you go into this house that has had a brand new kitchen or a brand new bathroom, and it's full, like beautifully renovated, but not to your taste.
Right.
So would you have picked black countertops? No, probably not. So what do? Do you rip out this new $30,000 kitchen, or, no, you don't. You kind of just live with it because it doesn't make sense. And, but on this one, you can make that $30,000 kitchen exactly what you want it to be. So then the numbers make sense. So when we bought our house, actually, that's exactly what we did. Now that was, 10 years ago, but our house needed a lot of work, and we renovated top to bottom.
Right.
And it was awesome because it completely made it our own. Yeah. When we literally had orange walls, green carpet, so we changed everything out, but it worked beautifully because, like I said, it was to our taste.
Yeah, I find nowadays the unfortunate part about a lot of the newer home buyers is they don't want to do anything. They don't want to buy a house that needs work. They want everything done. They want granite countertops, and they want this, special hardware they want. They want pot lights and this, that, and the other. And then I find that some of the houses, a lot of the houses just all look the same, right? Everyone kind of has the gray floors and the white this and the same subway tile black backsplash and all that kind of stuff. So, and I always wonder, when you move in initially, it's like, oh, cool, brand spanking new and clean, whatever. But after a few months, you kind of go, okay, well, I like it. It's pretty and clean and everything, but it's kind of not my style. I kind of prefer it to be a bit more cozy or whatever. So it's just interesting. I don't know. I wouldn't want a cookie cutter house or have my, open concept kitchen look exactly like everyone else's. So I like the idea of renos.
Me too. And last night I showed a place in Caledonia, and it had so much character to this house. It was so beautiful. Now it definitely needs to be updated. Yeah. But when you walk in those houses and you immediately have oh, I can see this. I can see this. I can see this. It was exactly that house, but the bones of this house were sensational. It had a sunken living room. The yard was it was huge. It was right on 56. It was beautiful. They've maintained the house really nicely. They've updated the floors, tons and tons of living space, but kitchen needs to be done. But the whole vibe of that house was so inviting that I thought, if you could combine the kind of old charm that it has with this sunken living room, with the dark, pocket doors, and that was the vibe of it, with kind of that new modern kitchen, it would be amazing. Rather than just new, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have a client who is selling his property, and I went to take a look and just kind of see what state it's in, and it's in a state of some things are good, some things are bad. It definitely needs work. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
What would you do to sort of get this property ready? And I said, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because someone's going to come in here and they're going to make it their own. They're going to put all their finishing touches on it. They're going to do the paint. They're going to do the countertops. I said, why would you spend $50,000 to maybe make, $60,000? So you're going to get a $10,000 profit. You're going to live in, drywall dust hell for however many months. I said, just leave it the way it is, because it's one of those things where if you're not going to get a good return on investment or double your money or do the whole house, I don't see, it doesn't make sense. Someone's going to buy it the way it is, and they're going to beautify it how they want. So, and you'll still make decent money on it. I mean, it's a gorgeous property in Beamsville. But yeah, it's just interesting. Everybody wants to kind of, do these little bits and pieces. Well, I should just maybe finish this and maybe just finish that. And I think, no, I either got to do it all or don't do any of it, for anyway.
Our best, even right now in the market that it is, you still, there does still need to put a little care and time into listing, but not same thing. I have a client coming up and they're listing Burlington and they said, should we put new windows in? And I was like, right now, I mean, yes, but they the way they wanted to do it was change the entire front of the house, right? So don't change it. Let somebody else make their own decisions on this. It's just necessary right now, especially in, I shouldn't say especially this market, but it's just not necessary right now. Let somebody else invest in what they want and then just accordingly. So,
well, it's like going back to your point. I mean, what are you going to do? What if you put in windows they don't want? Right? What if you put in, they want them opening this way and they open that way or whatever? It's like the black.
Or the fact is this one has a huge bay window and they were going to change it out to not be. So, it's a lot of personal touches that just let somebody else make the decision. Right now, make it clean, give it a fresh coat of paint.
There you go. Exactly.
And make it open so people aren't looking. I mean, this, goes right back to our staging one last week. It ties in beautifully. But that said, you do have 2 sensational properties coming up that that this program would be perfect for, because we do have a lot of people right now that just cannot get in the market. And so if you can get approved where, just say you've already been approved for X amount of dollars, but what you're finding is just not making sense. This is where it's at. Find these properties that you can get at a lesser value. Does it take a little bit of work? Yes. Is it a pain in the ass? 100%. But it's
so worth it. Yeah, I look at the listing. So 84 Lincoln Avenue in St. Catharines, it just listed yesterday. This is, I'm in love with this house for so many reasons. I mean, number one, you can live in it now. It's not like it's, a derelict property. It's got heat, it's got a roof, it's got doors. But there's so many opportunities, and you could actually build on what is already existing, or you can bulldoze it and you can put up 2 semi-detached homes, and maybe you live in one and you rent out the other. I mean, I don't know what the plans would be there, but my goodness, I mean, I'm hoping that an investor snaps it up, only because if, I think it's cool if a family would get in there too, but it would be kind of cool to see a couple of families be able to get some housing at a decent price, right? So, yeah, this one is pretty cute, and it, like I say, I mean, it needs work, obviously, but totally livable now. I could live there. It's cozy.
You showed me pictures of it. I mean, I think you're hitting the nail on the head on that one, actually. To ideally, the best return on investment on that one would definitely be to knock it down and put it up as 2. Because the rents right now, right or wrong, are astronomical. So, it's just, there's never been a better time to be a landlord. Just, never been a harder time to market. So it's kind of
exactly. If I had the money, I would buy this property. And it's not that I couldn't buy the property, it's I couldn't afford to actually build the 2 on it.
But you know what? I mean, I think you could do, and I mean, we're going to find out more in a minute here how you could afford it. But it's not only that. I mean, right now it's a massive, that's like a side gig essentially. When you're building, like I said, I've done this twice. We had a fire, which so we had to rebuild our own home here now, and we just did a huge build at the cottage 2 years ago. So I've now built 2 homes, and it is 100% like a second job. You have to budget. I had Excel spreadsheets coming out my ass. I had just making sure that everything, you've got to project manage, and it is so time consuming. But again, so worth it. I mean, I'm looking at my house now. I look at the cottage. It's so worth it because every little aspect of that we had a hand in. Now, the building, nope, that wasn't me. I just said, can you please build this? That'd be great.
Nice. Yeah, see, and I'm the opposite person. I buy it already done.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to project manage. I just
want. So you, Wendy, are the 99% of our clients. I am the 1% doing it. So this episode is for our 1%.
Yes, it's for the 1%.
Yeah.
So yeah, Purchase Plus Improvements Program. Let's get Julie in here to tell us all about it. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's grab her. All right, everybody, we're welcoming Julie Virgilio. I love her last name. From Mortgage Architects, and she's going to fill us in and give us all the details about the Purchase Plus Improvements Program, which I have a really hard time saying. Hi, Julie.
Yes.
How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. Thank you so much, ladies, for having me on. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
This is amazing.
No, this is actually, Wendy, I'm really, really, really happy you organized this guest. A, because it's just great to meet Julie, and B, because this program could not have come at a better time. I mean, I know this program has been around for a long time, but for our clients right now, this might be exactly the solution they need, I'd say.
And to add to that, Beth, this is one of the best untapped opportunities when buying a home. I am constantly chirping about it because I've done several of them, or many of them myself, my team, and it's easy breezy. And a lot of lenders offer this, and there's different nuances and qualifications and so on and so forth. But for the most part, it's a very simple program to attach yourself to, and it is of such benefit. I mean, many homes for sale in the market are in great locations, and the structure, the bones of the property are amazing, but the property may not be totally up to date, as far as look and feel goes, or perhaps there's a problem with the property that needs repair. So, or you just have a different idea or taste as to what the interior could look like. In any case, if the home needs a bit of updating or renovations, this is absolutely where this program could help out.
Okay, so let's talk about qualifications. Who qualifies? How do they qualify? What do they need?
Sure, for sure. So as I said, it is absolutely lender dependent, but some of the most important perils of this program is, number one, the qualifying renovations. Let's talk about that for a second. Kitchen and bath, finishing the basement, making your home energy efficient, installing a new roof, a pool, doesn't count. I'm sorry. It does not count.
That's okay.
I was so upset when I was like, not a pool. So I was just trying to tease you guys, but no pool, guys. So if you meet the qualifications, you can get up to $40,000, or 10% of the purchase price, whichever is less for the upgrades. Now, there is a lender or two that has it up to $100,000. It's not the easiest program. Your GDS and TDS need to be totally in line. Your worth, it's just a little bit more difficult. So on average for this, $40,000 is the max. Also, as well, for qualifications, as little as 5% down. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. That's what I would say is one of the largest questions we get outside of, like, this program sounds amazing, but that is one of the biggest questions we get is like, what's the minimum I can put down, which is, so I'm happy you touched on that too. So I'm actually also happy you said, I didn't know, and I've known about this program for a long time, and I didn't know that you couldn't do a pool with it. I had no idea.
No, you cannot. You can't, guys. I've seen a couple of improvements come back denied, whereas one of our clients went and installed in the basement this funky dunky bar, and it went back and it was denied. It's not an improvement. So more so for anything, if you're talking about a basement, it is drywall, taping, mudding, like it's going to cover those costs, flooring. So anything extraordinary it's not going to cover it. It will come back denied. But typically what happens is you provide a list to the lender. The lender looks over your list, your quotes that really should be done. And I'll touch on this as well, because I'm sure this will be a question. The lender needs to take a look at what your proposed scope of work is. And the contractor, they will look at the contractor, see if it is a bona fide contractor. It needs to come through on an invoice. So this is just the minutia and nitty gritty stuff. But I mean, listen, at the end of the day, they're allowing you to tack on about $40,000 to your mortgage at a lower interest rate than you would if you had on a line of credit per se. So they're going to scrutinize. Another thing I wanted to add is the property value needs to be just below $1 million. Okay. So another caveat there as well. Sorry.
Burlington and Oakville.
I know. And so when I talked to Wendy about this a little while back, I mean, it certainly does work in markets, not, proper GTA. Or hey, you could find, a town, for example, and it could be in Burlington, and maybe it is around $800,000 or $900,000. Am I wishful thinking here? Probably. But you could, and the kitchen needs improvement. Perhaps it's an older town or something along those lines. Yeah. Yes, this program would be in line for your clients. Absolutely. And before I forget, this is super important because it is, and I've been asked this a million times from my investor focused clients, is non-owner occupied rentals are not included in this program. However, you can have a maximum of 4 units, and one of those units must be owner occupied. Hey, that would be great if you had somebody who wanted to buy a triplex or quad and have, and live in it and then get each of the kitchens done. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I know one question, Wendy, sorry, I keep chiming in here, but I know one question my clients would ask, and so where do they get the funds initially? Like, so I know it gets tacked on your mortgage, but I think a really great question would be, okay, that's great. You're going to put it on my mortgage, but how do I pay for this stuff? Like, what do I do?
Okay. So, and this goes across different lenders, but the majority of the lenders, you've got to come up with the money out of pocket, unfortunately, or make arrangements with your contractor to have it paid after these are done. There are a few lenders that will allow you to submit in increments, but those are few and far between. That's the only thing, guys, that is, you've got to have it. Maybe you're taking it out on a line of credit. Perhaps, we've had a couple of young couples who have borrowed money from parents off their line of credit to do this and then paid them back right away. That's just, guys, it's really the only thing. You have to know where you're going to access these funds if the lender doesn't allow or doesn't give you the funds up front, and most of them don't.
And that makes sense. They want to make sure that you're putting the money towards what it's supposed to go to.
Sure. Yeah. Now, once you're approved, 95% of the money will be advanced. The remaining 5% will be held in trust by your real estate lawyer until your renovations are completed. So again, going back to you're going to have to pay some or all of these costs up front. But we're finding that, and hey, I've been on the line with a contractor or two saying, listen, this is a bona fide program. They're telling you the truth. I can vouch for it. If you'll allow them to pay for this at the end of it.
Right.
And it's in trust, the money's in trust.
Yeah, of course.
And we found that they have been willing to do so.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And I will also add, if I may, so some lenders will also allow you to do the work yourself, but the funds will only cover the costs of the materials and not your labor.
Okay. Interesting.
Right?
Interesting. So there's a lot of intricacies and little sort of bits and pieces that, where can we get some, is there like a package of information that we could access or resource or something maybe on your site or yeah, I'd love to be able to kind of give some info for people to actually look this up, maybe read a bit about it before they contact you? Or
absolutely. In fact, you know what I've been doing? I've been piecing together pertinent pieces of information based on experiences from, working with lenders on this program. So I'm almost done.
okay.
Some of it is just not pertinent through some of the lenders, and I just want to keep this super simple for everyone. One of the things that I want to add, this is really important, especially during COVID times, is you usually have between 90 and 120 days to complete the renovations. Okay. We've run into a couple of challenges in the last little while where, due to supply issues, contractors have not been able to finish on time. We've had to go in and ask for exceptions. Some have been denied and some have come back. That's the only thing, is keep in mind that, up to 120 days, these need to be complete. Now, there are a few lenders who are opening or who are extending this or opening this up to 6 months and a year.
Right.
So that you also need to keep in mind as well.
Well, I mean, now is, there's such a shortage of a lot. So I would think that the lenders would kind of have to be a bit,
flexible,
relaxed a little bit, flexible. Exactly. Because I mean, it takes forever to get anything shipped over here. And, we know with the convoy and everything, we can't get meat on our shelves. How are we gonna get, blocks of wood? Actually, wood. We'll contact Darren. He's a lumber guy.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, I mean, when you're not wrong, I know even our neighbors are trying to have some renovations done, and they ordered their kitchen, I'm going to say 1 or 2 months ago, and it's being installed in July. So there is such a shortage of, I mean, we've talked about this. Everybody's trying to improve their homes right now because we're stuck in them, so make them as nice as possible. And all these contractors have never been busier. I mean, this pandemic has been phenomenal for contractors, right?
I've been waiting 5 months to get my doors, which will be installed next week, I think. So
exactly. So I'm actually, that's another good point I'm happy you touched on, because another one I wouldn't have known that one either. So this is really awesome information, Julie.
Yeah. So Julie, when you have that sort of synopsis all put together, reach out, and then we can maybe put it in a link in the YouTube, or well, not the podcast, but on the YouTube cast version of this, and then hopefully go in and click on it and read what's what. But I like the fact that you're simplifying things, because I find with a lot of these programs, because I've clicked on and read a few, and it's just everything is just sort of thrown at you, that it's okay, I don't really streamline it, which is good.
Yeah, just streamline it. And really what I've done is I've gone in and I've overviewed many of the lenders, and I'm taking the commonalities. And at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, every body, every file, every home is going to be different. But the program, the gist of the program is really the nuts and bolts, and it kind of is the same. So what we would do is, based on the circumstances, say, okay, you know what, you'd be a good fit for said lender. Let's try them. And it really is customized to our clients' needs and goals as well. So if someone says, I cannot do these renovations within 120 days, it's just too much by the time I move in, then no problem. Then we'll look at a lender who has some extended time. So to give you a little bit more breathing space and see what that looks like for, for that person. But for the most part, as I said, it's 120 days.
Okay.
And you touched on the beauty of going to a broker like yourself too, because one-stop shop, you go and do all the work for them. They're not having to go lender to lender to find out who can take care of what they need. So, I mean, hopefully you've got some people coming your way after they hear this, girl.
Yeah.
And the one thing, and if I may add, because we did have this situation a couple months ago, and so what happened is they couldn't do this on time. They ran into issues with supplies, and they couldn't get done. But homeowners, they were okay with it. So what happened was, we went back to the lender, and then the lender said, okay, well, this is our, the timeline is this. And they weren't they didn't care if they didn't get it finished on time. They were happy that they had the gist of it done. So if you do not finish your renovation, the money will be applied to the mortgage principal but your monthly payments will not just decrease because the mortgage was given on the assumption you are going to do the renovations. So you're still going to get the money, but it's not going to be, your payments are not going to wind up going down because you didn't utilize all those monies.
Perfect.
Okay.
So we've had that asked a couple of times. So everything is all COVID related nowadays. My goodness.
No doubt. All right. Well, that's some good info. I think that whoever's listening to this is definitely gonna pick up some stuff, pick up some pointers. And yeah, I mean, I know the investor clients that I work with and potentially Beth might be, interested in this type of a program. So we'll see.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Julie, for joining us.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
We'll hit you up again with some more mortgage info. 100%.
Thank you very much. Have a good one, guys.
All right. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.
Oh, you know what? Honestly, Wendy, that was really helpful. I'll tell you, because like half my clients right now can't even afford to get in the market because housing pricing is going, well, it's going friggin' insane right now. So this might be just the ticket. I mean, also helpful for them to know that they need the money up front. So whether it be, on a line of credit or whatever, or hit up the bank of mom and dad. It's gotta be placed.
Yeah. The BOMAD. I love the BOMAD. Actually, I'm kind of glad that she, sort of spelled some stuff out there, because I was a little, I guess I didn't really think it was exactly what I thought it was, if that makes sense, which it doesn't. No, because I thought it was money that they just advanced you. I didn't realize that, well, not advanced. Like I thought it was just tacked onto your mortgage and you just kind of pay it off like you do. I didn't know you had to have cash up front and you had to have, there's a certain time limit. Like you only have 120 days to get your stuff done. So that's crucial, I think.
That's hugely crucial, because that could be a make or break. I mean, right now, not a lot of people can get contractors. Like we said, you can't get contractors in, let alone within 3 months. Like that's,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good. It's good to know, because she said there are lenders that are willing to extend. So you know, when you're going to your mortgage broker, whether it be, Julie or whoever you deal with, say, like I know right now I've been talking to contractors, we're looking at likely six months to a year. So we have to make sure we put in place that's, that stipulation. So anyway, really, really super helpful information. I was impressed.
Yeah, me too. You know what I also am impressed about? Our exciting giveaway that we have coming up. I'm always impressed by us when we give stuff away.
I know. I think our HomeGirls fan page, our HomeGirls landing page, are fans of that too.
Yeah.
I don't want to give it away yet. I want to tease a bit about it. So all I will say is it's freaking awesome. So, but
it's freaking awesome.
It's freaking awesome. So we are going to make this a little bit about the girls. Sorry, guys. This one we're going to call the Galentine's Day giveaway. Correct?
That's right. I love it.
Yeah. In spirit of the home girls, we're gonna hear it for the girls on this one.
Yeah, I love it. I think we're gonna get. We had a really good response. Obviously, we had really good response for our Tie Cat giveaway, because it's Tie Cats, Oski Weeby, and all that. But yeah, I think this one, the chicks are gonna dig it. And we're all about the chicks, right?
Exactly. And okay. So what I will tease, is that to enter, what we're going to be asking for is their worst dating story. Like send us your worst, whether it be Tinder, whether it was your mom set you up on a blind date. We want to hear the worst of the worst, the crazier, the better. Every time you submit one of your stories, you're going to get an entry. If you tag a friend, you're going to get an entry, but we will put all of the details on the, on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. Exactly. And I think maybe what we could do, Wendy, is dedicate the week before, which might be next week, actually.
Yeah, it is next week. Yeah.
Maybe we can do a whole podcast dedicated to reading some of those stories, and maybe even get a few of our clients or our fan, or not fans, but our people of our page on to read out their own stories and give us a scoop.
I would love that. I would think it'd be cool. So if people want to write in, for sure, but I think it would be really cool if somebody could, send in a video entry, just like a quick 30-second video talking about that story. I think that's amazing. Now, I know people are always afraid of video and, oh my God, I hate the way I look and my sound and all that crap. But if we can get past all that, I think, oh my God, how much fun would that be? It's just a vlog of all these really shitty freaking date stories.
Oh my God. And you know what? I mean, both of us have been out of the dating scene so long. I'm stoked to hear it. I can't wait.
I know. I
okay.
know. So I met Jeff online. We met on Plenty of Fish, actually. A little sort of one step up from Tinder, I guess. And it was so funny hearing some of the stories that he had. He had some bad dates. Like I got really lucky. I went out on about 20 dates and then I met Jeff and woo. But yeah, he has some shit shows of chicks just showing up and not at all looking like their picture and just, just bad stuff. So maybe I'll see if they'll record one.
I was just about to say, like, I never actually ventured into the online dating scene. I just didn't have to, I guess. I was meeting people through friends and
Beth is just so fancy. She didn't have to.
And yeah, as they say, I was meeting everybody organically. So
there you go. All right. I like it.
But Darren did, same as Jeff. He ventured into that online realm, and he had some doozies too, which were like nothing but pure enjoyment for me to hear, because it just led him to me. And I mean, that just made me look so much better.
I know. I didn't even have to try. Like really, it was just, it was done. It was like, wow, okay, she looks like, all right, we're in. Let's go. Here's the ring.
Done. Okay, so I can't wait. So we'll definitely put that up on the Facebook page. I cannot wait to see entry. I've got kids that are in their 20s that are dating online, and I know for a fact they'll probably throw a few entries my way, and I may or may not want to read them. I don't know.
I'm loving it. All right, sounds like a plan. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us for the 30 minutes or so that we've been chatting. And we'll see and hear you next week.
See you later.
Bye.